just think half of these houses are being sold based on attorney referral, um, and they're very cautious about who they give that referral to. That's what I'm starting to feel. They don't know how, like you said, Bruce. They don't know how to refer you, but you got to move them out of that 80% to get 20% of them.
Hmm.
But I have a feeling that most of these houses, the floodgates are going to open if we just figure out this attorney referrals. And I'll be a good test source for it because I'm gonna spend probably 30 grand this year on association fees, data, events, and then letters to attorneys. So we're gonna really see if it comes into play.
And you just did an attorney sponsorship a couple of days ago, right?
Yep.
How'd
And it
that
was
go?
a completely wrong audience too.
Okay. Fall on
So
his
it's
face a little bit.
yeah, it's fine. It's a bunch of attorneys, but they were appellate attorneys, and I didn't realize that. I just thought it was a class because I went to a class before and it was a state class
Yeah.
for estate planning and guardianship. So that was the right group to be at. Then this group was for appellate judges and appellate attorneys that practice appeals.
Yeah.
So none of them, everything that I said to them went over their heads. So I spent 2 grand doing this, and it probably will not get any referrals. But now they're going to get my letters, so they may. It's just another networking source to be in front of.
Yeah.
But you got to be real careful too. The ones that don't practice estate law or probate, they're probably not going to have any. They may have some houses for you, but that's just the process we're going to go through.
So let me ask you a question, David. I already know the answer. Remember in the beginning of the call, I said, don't ask questions you don't know the answer to. Um, you just spent $2,000 and you put yourself in front of a bunch of attorneys that weren't the right audience, weren't the right attorneys. Was it a little bit embarrassing?
No, not at all. No.
Really? Okay. All right. I didn't know the answer to that. I thought you'd say it was a little bit embarrassing. Okay. Second
Well, I
question.
was nervous. I was nervous because I have a feeling that the attorneys are above me because they're educated more than I am,
Oh, yeah.
and they come across. There's only one guy in the room that was like trying to make me feel like he was smarter than me when I was
Yeah.
talking to him. But
Yeah.
everybody else was very cordial and they were appreciative that I bought them lunch,
Hmm.
and I was there sponsoring their event and that I was present. I stayed there the whole 3.5 hours for their boring ass lecture of constitutional law back in 1803. But
That's awesome.
but yeah,
Okay.
it's just
So,
the process of I was in a room with 55 attorneys and they all got to see me talk for like 2 minutes. So
mhm.
it's just the process we're gonna have to go through if we're gonna build 5 year and I got 3 deals signed this week, so it's not like it's it's yeah. So
Okay. All
yeah.
right. So here was my follow-up question, and this is this is predicated on you being a little bit embarrassed. So if you weren't embarrassed, just pretend like you were embarrassed for a second. Man, I just spent
Okay.
$2,000 in front of the wrong
50
audience.
50 Bruce, just to appease you. Yeah, a
Okay,
little
okay.
bit.
I spent $2,000 in front of the wrong audience. Um, are you going to go sponsor another event?
Yes, 100%.
There you go. I want everyone to hear that. All right, that's the difference between people who experience significant growth in their business and the people that wash out of a niche and never do anything with it again. Those that are going to see serious, massive success, and I think most of us would argue that David fits that mold, um, try things that could be embarrassing if they get it wrong. And we try enough things to where we get embarrassed quite frequently. I had a listing appointment today via Zoom, and I'm like the go-to expert. I was on this listing appointment with a probate mastery student who said, I want to hear how the master does it. And this woman, 5 minutes in, she goes, Bruce, I'm just going to stop you right now. She goes, I'm just a dollars and cents woman. I'm at work. I don't have time for this. Just tell me what your price is. And that doesn't fit my mold at all. It doesn't fit. I lost complete control. And I gave her, and she said, "Okay, you and me, we're done right now. Click." And I'm sitting there trying to make a good impression with a probate mastery student who thinks that I can't do any wrong.
Can I coach you on that, Bruce, a little
It's a
bit?
little bit embarrassing. It's a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I going to go do it again? You bet. Go for it, David. What coach me?
That's I ran into that situation this week too, and the lady just if she plans to sign the offer, it came through right now. Um, but she just told me to give her a price, and then I gave her the lowest price possible, and she accepted it. So don't be afraid of if they want a number like that, just shoot a number out and be like, I told her, hey, just don't hate me because of this, because it is going to be lower than what you probably expect.
Yeah.
Here's a number that I feel that I could buy the house and remodel it and make a profit,
Hmm.
and then they accepted it. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Amazing. Amazing. All
yeah.
right. Well, thanks
Oh,
for jumping in.
on that aspect of just going back real quick, I'm sorry to take over your call, but
You're good.
so the lady that runs the event, she knew too that I was in the wrong audience. So she offered me for another $250 the whole database for the membership.
Mm,
So now I get 5,200 emails of all the attorneys that are members of this association. So that is the she understood that I paid for an event that I wanted to be in front of state attorneys, and it was very obvious that it wasn't. So
yeah.
she's like, "Here's what we could do to help you."
Yeah.
So they're there to help you. It's great.
Yeah. Now, I would also argue that your appellate judges and appellate attorneys probably do have situations where they're appealing certain rulings that have real estate ramifications. So I would
Yes.
argue that regardless of whether this was a room full of people that deal with estates and probate, regardless of the fact that it wasn't, there's probably a lot of real estate deals in that room.
And like you said, it takes that it's probably gonna I'm not a public speaker type person. My wife thinks I am, but uh for me that 2 minutes was it seemed like 15 minutes that I had to give a little speech. So for me to do that is a foot in the right direction for me.
Hmm.
So it's just it's all building this probate business, which is amazing.
Yep.
Um, and I've always shared my over the last 5 years, I've shared with everybody what phases I've gone through and where I'm at now. So it's like, it's just this is the best niche to be involved with. I am so convinced.